Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today, we have a crazy opportunity for you guys. We're going to be talking about Bank of Georgia, a bank in Georgia. Georgia is in Eastern Europe, right on the border with Russia and Turkey. And Peter, one of the viewers from another video, commented down below that he's buying this stock. And I'm going to go over it for him. So let's see it. It pays a nice 5% dividend. It has great financials. If you take a look at the revenues and earnings, they have been growing massively. And even in the last quarter, they had $1 billion in earnings. If let's take a quick look at that, why is that? Is because the bank took possessions of properties. The real liquidity was low than the quoted price. So that is kind of like intangible assets. Let's say it's not worth as much as it is. But either way, the Bank of Georgia has been doing great. And then why invest in Georgia? The GDP has been growing, and we're going to take a look at that. But as we can see, currently 20% of Georgia's international recognized territory is under Russian military occupation. Don't like to see that. See this Georgia GDP. So Georgia is not a part of NATO. It is not a direct ally with the US, but it is also not on the side of Russia. And they have stated that they support Ukraine, but they have not done anything to support Ukraine because they're right in the middle. And the war with Russia and Ukraine has actually impacted them positively for a couple of reasons. So the first reason is all the trade routes that usually went through Russia from Asia to Europe are now going through Georgia, which is helping their GDP growth and increasing trade and business. And another reason is a lot of how did I find this out? I went through this video of this guy going through the financials because when I went to the Bank of Georgia and I put in that my country is Canada, they said we regret to tell you that due to regulatory restrictions, we are unable to provide you with this section of the website. So I guess they don't want Canadians to invest. They are on the OTC and they are on the London Stock Exchange. Since they are in Europe, it makes sense. London Stock Exchange is okay, but it still has pretty low volume, which compared to the OTC it looks huge because on the OTC, load up the OTC, they have pretty much no volume on the OTC. Look at this. On the day, nothing. On the 5 days, nothing. And if you look at this just like looks like Minecraft. It just blocks up, down, or up, 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 up. But yeah, if you look at Stock Unlock, they gave it a 4.9 out of 5% rating. If you look at the insights, the company has been growing revenues at 27% over the past year and has also not diluted shareholders. The outstanding shares have been going down 5%, which they mentioned that 30% of their net income is rewarded back to shareholders in the ways of paying back dividends, 5% dividend or 6% dividend, and buying back shares. That's great. Very nice of them. That's what we like to see as shareholders in businesses. And yeah, so if you look at their net margins, very profitable. Management is doing very good. But there's a lot of information missing here. Stock-based compensation, insider ownership. If you look at over here, we can see that the insider ownership is, I believe, 25%. Institutions hold 48%. And they do have cash. They have $3 billion in cash and $7.2 billion in debt, which is not too bad for a bank, not too much debt. Selling at 3 times earnings, that's very low, almost 3 times sales. They have very high earnings for a couple of reasons. Who knows what they're doing? They're not sharing their information with us, which is one reason I'm kind of sketchy to invest. Selling at 1.1 of book value, which is pretty cheap. And if you look at their financials, their revenues has been growing very consistently, very nicely. Their assets as well, $42 billion in assets, very low intangible assets. I don't see any goodwill around here. And total liabilities is 36 billion. So they're in a pretty good place. Like I said before, they are not diluting shareholders. The share count is actually going down, increasing the value of the stock. Revenues is increasing very nicely. You can see this, they doubled just in the last couple of quarters, their revenue. Amazing. Dividends. If you look at the dividends, to pay dividends, they only have to use 12% of their net earnings to pay dividends. So their dividend is actually very safe. They did cancel the dividend during 2020, I guess because of COVID, put it back on. Currently, here it says 3.8% dividend. Over here it says 5% dividend. I believe it's more closer to 5%. Was as high as 8-9%. And if you look at the total returns compared to the S&P 500, they have outdone the S&P 500 very much so. So this is a very fast growing company, even faster than like banks like SoFi, which isn't even. And again, we can't see the insider ownership. We can't see the insider transactions if they're buying or selling. We can see some Georgian hedge funds and whatnot have been selling in 2023. And so why will I not invest in this company? Because of the tension. And then another way they profited from Russia, as we can see here, is a lot of workers from Russia migrated, and just alone, I believe like over 80,000. You
Here's the
guys
big secret about women.
check that video out as well. There's like 80,000 to 300,000 people, Russian workers, IT workers alone, coming to Russia. And if you take a look at the population of Georgia, it is not growing and has been going down, but their GDP has been going up, which is more important than the population growth. That the country is actually increasing their economy. So overall, I do love this stock. I just love the stock. I would just wish this bank was in Canada, America, or a different country in Europe, which I felt more comfortable investing in. For that reason, I will not be investing in the company. But I believe this is a great company. If you look at the financials, they've been performing wonderfully. And if you live in Europe, if you're around Europe, if you live in Georgia, and you believe it's a safe, there isn't any war tensions going on or any other political reasons to not invest in the company, I believe this is a great buy and a great company. Analysis, we can't even see the analysis. This is it. This is why I don't like this. But I guess if you look at the London Exchange, Bank of Georgia, we might be able to actually see some data here. So yeah, they predict for the next year to have 2.8 billion in revenue, 18% up from 2023 previous year. So it's looking like a very good company. I just do not see myself buying right now. Feel free to prove me wrong in the comments down below and comment down below what video you want to go over next. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed.